Hey gang, Ronan here. Welcome all back to the Gaiden episode 10 of our playthrough of Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden from 2001 for the PlayStation 1. Yes, we are in double digits now. And having just gone through a slog of an episode in the last one, which took, I apologize for that, it took well over an hour to do. Hopefully we won't have that happen again today in this episode. But in the meantime, we were able to do some substantial upgrades to most of our mechs that we have in our current roster. And one of the things I made sure we could do now is we started boosting up the limit on each of our main guns, being like Getter Dragon, Great Mazinger, Mazinger Z, stuff like that. I've also started to boost up stuff for our standard Mobile Suit Gundams, like Double Zeta Gundam. I did some stuff for Zeta Gundam. I did some for the V Gundam. Basically what I'm trying to do is, like I've said throughout this playthrough, I'm trying to get as many different characters boosted up a little bit at a time, because we're going to need to have as diverse an army at our disposal, and we can't just focus on 1, 2, or 3 individual mechs. We have to be very selective in how we parse out the funds that we have, because we don't get a whole lot of them at a time. But when we do, we have to make sure we are taking advantage of that as best we can. We don't have any modules that we can put together, so without further ado, let's get into the next map, because now we are in an entirely different part of the universe. It was a planet once called Zora, but people have long since forgotten that name. So how we got here was at the end of the last episode by beating the Neo Granzon. Doing so opened up a space-time portal that we all got sucked into and deposited out here. Which, as a philosopher once observed, if there was a bright center to the universe, we seem to be on the planet that is farthest from. There we go, once we get things moving here. So we have Tetsuya and Yun. So the Macross is gone, the Neo Granzon is gone. And we can't communicate with anybody else. So it looks like what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to get the rest of the team put back together. So mission 10 off in a distant Tim? It's actually supposed to be time. If you know that joke, you know it. There we go. So I already see a container that we can pick up. There's another one there, or is that the same one? Rag. Room Dyke, buy some time for Jiren and Shuru to get that new walker. That thing really new, feels kind of different somehow. Yeah, it's all round and stuff. So these guys look like scavengers or mech collectors. There's Boss. There's a container there. Iron Gear. Okay, so... $100 blue stones. So where is everybody in relation to everybody else? So there is... Okay, there's a crate there. These guys are here. Nothing else over this way. And nothing out there. I apologize if that makes it kind of motion sick. It's the only way I know of to be able to do a bit of orienteering to figure out where the heck I am in relation to the board. So if these three guys, can't do anything with them. I can't do anything with boss. I can't do anything with anything else. So, okay, so it looks like I've got these three guys to handle for right now. My objective is to get that crate, and then it looks like I'm going to have to deal with these four guys down south, depending on how they move. Cheer and Giron. I'm assuming those two blue vehicles are going to be something we can get our hands on, as well as the big red thing next to boss. That one. They're after the Xabungle. Okay, what is this? Oops, they got into boss. Uh-oh. They're not going for the Xabungle. They're going for that unknown walker machine yet. You're not going to get very far with boss. In fact, I don't know anybody who's ever had anything to do with boss that found it to be worth its weight in anything. It is a big hunk of junk. Alright, so they whiff. We hit. That one whiffed. We're going to hit this one, even shooting over. We're shooting over a butte. I'll put that one down. That'll work. What are you wasting time for? You have to take the blue one next to it, make a run for it. So that must be the Xabungle. Key's already in the ignition. So clearly we're going to need both of them. And my guess is they crashed into each other. Are we going to get a cutscene or are we going to get... There's the Xabungle. So he's going to have to learn on the fly how to fight with this thing. The Xabungle 2. Let's see what this looks like. These walker machines do not look all that appealing. Don't underestimate Kid Holla. I said holla. Now, I have never seen the anime this is based on, but I have seen this mech before. I remember as a kid seeing it in toy stores, but it was, of course, advertised as something totally different. So the wings broke. You get the arm wheels, too. So now what is he doing? So Hull is now trying to aim at this thing, which is the iron gear. So it sounds like these two are either siblings or a married couple. All the breakers in the ship work for me. The ship is already mine. Worst marriage proposal ever. Yeah. Marry me or I will blow up the bridge and take you with it. Yeah, very, very, very beta. Oh, by the way, Jiren's back. And point a gun at a woman. Alright, took him out, and we got whatever's in this crate. Computer core. That could be useful. That's the raw. You force your views on others too much. Boy, this game got awfully political really quick. I could write a whole social commentary based on this mission alone. Oh, more walker suits have shown up. They put the engine out of commission on the iron gear. Hand over the iron gear. He's going to give them return fire. That's critical. whiffed with the autocannon at 80%. %. If he hits him at 4%, I'm leaving. Alright, so I have no more distance weaponry that I can hit with. They miss with a rocket launcher. I come back and score. Rocket Vulcan for 47%. Nope. Ooh, we got company. Xabungle 1. So we have 2 Xabungles. Alright, so looks like everybody's going to gang up and help her out. The first thing I want to do over here is take these guys out. Put that one down. Flank this one, and you go bye-bye. He's toast. Do a full heal up. I mean, might as well. Or not, because I don't need to hit him that hard. HP gas engine. And we get a skill point. I forgot this thing could attack. You whiffed from all the way over there? Really? $200 blue stones. And boss still can't do anything. Okay. So we've got 3 mechs over there. We picked up all the containers, and we've got these 3 guys left. Garaba is gone. So Jiron goes up a level. He gets another skill. Take down his life by half. Time to make this quick. Ah! 3 more. Don't worry, it's the last of them. Ah, and our own cavalry comes in. So they have boss locked up in the Iron Gear. Alright, 89% on the Duggar. That hit. And then some. So I would imagine the Iron Gear is like a... I would think that's probably a base that we can move in. Bust out the Great Typhoon. That one's going down. See ya. %47 retaliation on the Rocket Vulcan. Is that enough to put this thing down? Yep. Be going with him. The rest of the crew's coming along. I still can't hit anybody yet, but with only these two left over here and one left over in that flat. 20%? Hardly. Alright, we'll see what he can do at full power. As long as it's not enough to blow him up, he's only got 3,200 hit points. That's not good. I don't think it matters that Xabungle is a boy, but okay. He's a pissed off one at that, because here he comes. Well, okay. That's a new one. Like I said, I've never seen the anime in which Xabungle comes from, but as a kid, I've seen him in stores before under an entirely different name. But I always remember him because, if I remember right, on this Xabungle, he's got white wings. Hey, baby. Wanna wrestle? And because it can convert into like a big semi-truck, the wings fold up on it. That was the thing about anime like this back in the day, was toy companies would find various ways to sell toy versions of them here in the States, but they called them something completely different. So it wasn't until I got much older that I understood that, oh, all these things that I remember as a kid, while clearly being Japanese, were not from what they told me they were when I was wee. Alright, he goes up a level. So yes, the iron gear looks like it's our base for the duration of however long we are in this part of the game. So, Elsh Cargo, a trade merchant. Listen, man, the hairstyles were just the way they were back in the 70s. Everybody we know looks this way. Not that Jiren is much different. He's got eyebrows you could serve dinner on. Alright, well, this takes to an intermission scene. Yes, it will. Okay, well, by comparison to having an episode that ran almost an hour and 15 minutes in the last one, that we get one here that runs under 30 is actually a good thing. But we've got some work that we can do here. Specifically, we've got parts we can allocate. So we've got this Xabungle. We've got the Bungle Skipper, the Bungle Rover. So the high-powered gas engine gives it more movement, more speed, and higher limit. So I think I want to do that for sure. And then the rover, the hovercraft, if I remember right, allows him to fly. Ignore the effects of ground terrain. Okay. And everything has been reset. So all of our parts have been repurposed or been cleared out from everything we had. So it looks like we want to be able to bump up some stuff. And give him back the armor. And having a Xabungle 2 will be helpful. And I need to give her back repair stuff, because she's my one supply robot that I have at the moment. So, okay. Well, what we will do now that we are pretty much at 30 minutes is between this episode and the next one, like we always do, we will allocate funds out and see what we can boost up a little bit. And then we will see what happens in the next one. If you've been enjoying the content on the channel, you know how to show it. Also, be sure to tune in for Sports Saturday and Suckerpunch Sunday every weekend, where we are still doing our ongoing playthrough for Sports Saturday with Sega Sports NFL 2K2. trying to establish the Patriots dynasty of the early 2000s without the existence of Tom Brady. By the time this episode comes out, we should be well into the playoffs, if not already close to the Super Bowl, hopefully, if we get that far. But we will have to see. And then Suckerpunch Sunday, always, we play a classic fighting or fighting platform-based game from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation. As always, my name is Ronan. It's been great to spend this time with you. Be safe, be well, happy gaming. We'll talk to you in the next one as we carry on with Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden. Bye.